On today's show, Sony officially releases PlayStation Vue. We're going to tell you where you can get it, how much it costs, and what you get for your money.
And your favorite Marvel character is probably going to die. We'll give you more information on that after we do the other things.
Oh, NASA, I'm so sad. NASA has an electric plane, little tiny propellers and engines.
I'm sure it sounds cool. It sounds neat.
I'm sorry. My Marvel characters. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm Ashley Skella. Joining me once again, master of all he surveys, the one and only Khail Anonymous has returned. But you'll be gone on Monday.
Yep, and then I'm out of here. See you later, suckers. No, I'm back. I'm excited to be back. I really missed this seat.
We missed you too.
Comfy.
We missed you too. We had some good friends, but
I heard.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah, I was at South by Southwest, and actually that's part of my Into It.
Okay.
Because you get to see things a little bit beforehand when you go. So you guys are really gonna like this. Hopefully, it lines up perfectly with the show. You don't even know. But before that, let's look at those headlines.
You are in fine form today, my friend.
I'm excited to be back.
I'm excited to have you back.
Also, I had a coffee, so...
You may have drank 18 cups of coffee right before you walked in.
It didn't stop until the camera started.
He actually just has an IV going,
like
going
Bane,
right now. Yeah,
but with coffee.
Totally. Okay, so let's talk about PlayStation Vue. PlayStation Vue is official. It's launched.
It's out now.
You can get it in 3 whole cities here in the U.S.
It's ridiculous.
Bummer. So it's only available in New York, Philadelphia, and Chicago right now. And you have to have a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation 4 to access it.
Okay, that's all right. New York, Philadelphia, and Chicago. Okay,
but they did say that even though you can only access Vue with a PS3 or a PS4 right now, they're going to try to expand it to other devices. They're working on an iPad app right now. So here we go. So we're watching on the screen. We're scrolling through. We're checking it out. David Katzmeyer over in New York, one of our TV guys, went through, because he's in New York, which is great. He went through.
Oh, so this is actual footage.
This is actual PlayStation Vue footage. He's using it right now. So you can see there's Archer, there's CBS shows. There's about 75 channels. So you've got Fox, CBS, NBC, and all the a lot of related channels to them. So Fox News, Bravo,
Cartoon Network, FX. I'm seeing
Sci-Fi, Comedy Central.
All right.
Telemundo,
NBC,
Animal Planet.
Animal Planet. Yeah, Bet. Is that like a gambling channel?
BET.
Oh, okay.
Black Entertainment Television.
I know. I was just kidding.
It's the best.
Still
Life, Food Network. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you know.
MTV. Wow. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot more than on say Slingbox.
On say Sling. Okay.
Yeah,
so Sling TV is sort of the big competitor, but here's the thing. Yes, it does have a lot more channels, but unfortunately, it doesn't have 2 kind of major things. Which one is ABC?
Okay.
So it's kind of a big broadcast network. You want to see those major broadcast networks here in the States on whatever cord-cutting device you want to use. And including that because ABC and Disney, ABC is owned by Disney, and Disney also owns ESPN, there is no ESPN.
Okay.
Okay, so for the sports fans.
But Sling TV.
Kind of a bummer. Sling TV does have ABC,
ESPN.
a Disney Channel, like all that stuff. So no premium offerings, no HBO Go, no Showtime, none of that. So can't get, but I mean, I'd imagine that's part of the a la carte process. You're going to be adding some of those services kind of standalone.
Gee, that sounds like cable.
Sounds a lot like cable. So another $10 if you're a sports fan and you want your local sports teams, you can add $10. So in New York, they have like the Yankee Network. You can watch so you get like the local sports channels or whatever.
A month.
A month, yeah. So and then there's another package, kind of like cable, where it's another $10 that adds sort of these like niche channels, or like lifestyle, music, different things like that.
Right. Okay.
$50 a month.
So it's $50 a month. And you get there's a lot of channels on here.
There are a lot of channels, and you also get something that Sling TV doesn't have, which is cloud DVR. You can quote unquote record a show, and then it will keep it in your queue for up to 28 days after, and you can watch it anytime. And also, unlike Sling TV, you can fast forward through commercials. You can pause stuff. Like a lot of times on Sling TV, you can't do that.
Oh,
it's pretty rare that they let you fast forward through. Kind of some differences, and obviously you're paying a premium for those differences, but definitely a service that I think some people would be interested in, but is it too expensive? I think this is sort of the question a lot of people are not sure about.
Yeah, 50 wing wangs is a lot of money,
well,
especially since they're trying to kill cable subscriptions.
It's getting close to the price of a cable subscription.
Right. And I'm sure you guys were theorizing that there's going to be another competitor entering the ring pretty soon.
So we're hearing, again, always like where there's smoke, there's fire kind of thing. We're hearing that Apple TV and Apple is looking into partnerships with a bunch of different studios and broadcast networks and all that stuff to launch something for Apple TV sometime in the fall. So we might hear more about that with iOS 9, which will be, it's possible that they may loop in Apple TV as part of iOS 9, where you would have access to games on the App Store, you would have access to maybe a TV subscription service. So we don't know how much that'll cost or what that even would entail or how many services Apple would get a hold of. So there's just a lot of options out there, and all of them have their pros and cons.
It's happening.
It is happening.
We knew this. We were like, this may happen. Everything's gonna go digital, but it's also way more expensive than we thought it would be.
And it's also so much more complicated. And I think that's the one thing that a lot of people didn't realize is in unbundling all of these like services, you're going to end up with kind of something exactly like what's happening with View, where you're not getting all the channels that you were used to watching on cable, but it's like this might be how it's going to be going forward.
Yep, and it may fall back into that like paid packages type thing. So ultimately, I want to know like if people are excited about it, because I was excited about all these digital offerings, and Sling TV came along, and then I learned about all the caveats of like you can't really save your stuff, and I'm like, well, I live on VOD, bro.
Yeah.
And so it's
video on demand is it.
So then this View comes out, and that's $50. And then
that's
on top of my Netflix subscription,
maybe
and then
you
my
have
Amazon
Prime.
I also have Hulu, so maybe I won't need Hulu anymore. But I mean, we'll see. It's just
expensive.
It's stacking up on top of each other.
Right.
And then also HBO. I'll have to get the HBO app on top.
$15 a month.
And meanwhile,
I mean, it ain't cheap,
I'm gonna have to take another job. Is there another tech show that I can?
We'll make you a show.
Okay, make me a show.
We're gonna work real hard on that. The Khail show, yeah.
All right, cool.
It's just you doing songs and dances.
Is that our hashtag of the day?
Yeah, what you were saying. You were curious if people are excited about this. It's TD View is our hashtag of the day. And View as in VUE, which is the name of the service. And we just want to know, are you in? Are you out? Is $50 too much? How much would you pay for it? Or, what do you need to see to pony up $50 a month? Like, what's the thing that needs to be included?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's how it, because this is like the future. We don't have like a choice. So it's like, would you pay the $50? Do you even have a PlayStation? That's part of it.
Actually,
you have to have a PlayStation.
And how long would you wait for it to come to your city? That's the other question.
Yeah, it's not even everywhere yet.
U.S. only, and only in 3 cities right now. They said more cities in the coming months, but
they also need to make it available on our mobile devices too.
iPad, Android.
That's part of it. Yeah, I want to watch it in my bed.
I want to be able to access it somewhere else.
Sleep.
But they did say with View, you could watch on up to 3 devices at one time.
Okay, well that's cool.
So that's not bad. Again, it's like you're paying a premium for sort of these privileges that we're used to having with cable. So
but that's our opinion. So we need to hear yours, TD.
I'm very concerned. You said something about my favorite Marvel character being killed?
Yeah, it's funny because I told you this 2 months ago. I told everybody this 2 months ago.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
This is weird.
There's actually this big story going around right now about this whole Marvel Universe reset that's happening.
Today?
This
story has been everywhere.
It came out today. This reset is going to happen in May, and it's going to destroy practically everyone in the Marvel Universe.
Ugh.
However, this was announced a couple of months ago, but it's news now again, so I'll go ahead and
For some
cover
reason,
it.
It's news again today, so we're just going to go with it.
So it's all based on one quote, and actually a series that's coming out called, what is it called? Secret Universe.
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, sorry. Secret Wars are going to happen. And it's going to be a battle that's happening from Earth 616, which is what the primary Marvel Universe is. Yeah.
That's the place, that's the Earth where everything takes place in.
Yeah, and so then once this battle happens at the end, everyone's going to be dead. And everyone's going to be dead in their own comic thing, and it's all going to be reboot, just like how DC rebooted just recently,
the comic
like a year ago. Yeah, so they're going to reset everything. This is nothing new. This has happened before.
Reset
but
button.
This is really cool because we're going to get new versions of everything.
And a new cinematic universe.
No,
but I'm excited.
I think Female Thor is going to die.
We just start over again and we just go forward.
So here are some of the people on the list. Avengers.
Okay.
Dead. Captain Marvel, dead. Fantastic Four, dead. Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm just reading that one now, dead. Hulk, Thor, X-Men, all part of the list. They're all going to die. When I originally read this, the only person that was going to survive was Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He was the only one that's going to survive. But now apparently they say
that's on the list.
He may get knocked off, so maybe he'll like dodge a bullet at the last minute. Let me read you this
jump
quote.
in a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Just like Indiana Jones.
The prairie dog will see him. Thanks for bringing that back up. We needed to hear that again. So the Alex Alonso, editor-in-chief, had this quote to say, and I have to read it again. Like
I love
did.
it so much.
Here it is. This is, metaphor for how this is going to happen. Imagine there's two pizzas. They're going to smash together, and you're going to have all new toppings. Some toppings are going to drop off. You're going to yell about some that are missing. You're going to love the new ones. I think you're losing it here. I think you're losing it. The new ones here. They're the new Marvel universe moving forward. Blah blah blah. So anyway, they're gonna erase it and try it again.
When two pizzas collide.
So there's gonna be new versions of a lot of stories that we've already seen, which is really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing a new run of the Infinity Gauntlet because I love that story. And what's the best part is that each of the comic book all the creators of the current storylines, is getting to end their character the way they want. So that is perfect.
So they're not like, hey, March 31st, finish it.
Line them up.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's like Thor wants to die in his sleep. That's gonna happen.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
With his boots on.
Yeah.
With his Thor
so
boots
there you
on.
go. It's pretty cool. It's being reported everywhere, even though it was
I
reported
like
2
that.
months ago.
Yeah, I remember he's talking about it on. Khail has a show called Nerdbait on his channel.
Yeah.
And he talked about it like in January. It was like end of January he was discussing this, and today for some reason it like blew up all over the internet, and we were just like, and Khail was like, I talked about this 2 months ago.
Yeah, look, I'm okay with it because it's closer to now the date of
I guess Secret Wars
coming out. So, but actually it'd be I'm also, if you're into comics, are you going to be reading the Secret Wars? I'd be interested to see. I definitely am.
I think you have to if you're really into comics.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a big. Fun. This seems like a really big deal.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Cool.
All right. Let's talk about
that brings
NASA,
us to our hashtag of the day.
Which was
it already
TVView.
happened.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
sorry.
But you can totally tell Khail if you're gonna read Secret Wars and get into this reset, and it makes me want to read comics, like get into the reset. And I also feel like for a lot of people who don't read comics right now, maybe this is a great way to get them to start because they're like, I'm starting fresh. I can get in and this can be my character or this can be my comic series. So that's kind of a cool thing.
I started reading Captain Marvel as well, and now they're going to reset it.
I'm sorry.
So bummed.
All right, so I have to tell you about Leap Tech. So this is a thing that NASA came up with. We've seen a lot of electric cars. We've seen like Tesla and the Nissan Leaf and all these other electric cars that are pretty cool. But the thing is a lot of people see that and they go, well, where's my electric airplane? Like, why aren't we doing all electric airplanes?
They do say that?
And well, like I've seen people go, well, how come we're not even working on this in the sky?
Fair
like,
enough.
why is this not a thing? And actually, we are. So, but the problem is battery tech is just not in a place to really make it work with planes. So NASA is kind of going in a totally different direction, and I love this so much. They are testing out Leap Tech, which incorporates a bunch of small electric motors. So we're looking at this video. You can see a whole bunch of little propellers along the wings. And each one of those is its own electric motor, has its own electric motor. So there's 18 of them spread out over a 31-foot wingspan, 31-foot wings. So it's like a 62-foot wingspan, which is pretty cool. Plus the width of the actual body of the cabin.
This is awesome.
Yeah, okay, so they spread out all of these electric motors and propellers. And what they found, very interestingly, was that they had pretty great results. A 60% increase in wing efficiency and some drag reductions. So a little bit less, it's a little more aerodynamic, which is pretty great, especially for planes, obviously. So this is the thing they have it rigged on right now. It's they have this truck that has a specially mounted thing so they can test the wings and the propellers and the engines. And so they were saying that the whole point of this is that you can actually move around because they're all independent of each other. You can move them around on the wings to optimize not only the placement of them to get the best sort of lift and the best amount of, or the least amount of drag.
Yeah.
And they were also saying that because, again, they operate independently, let's say you get up to a certain altitude and you're cruising, we can shut some of them off because they can, or some of them can go slower than others. So like maybe as you're flying, you would be using less energy, like on some of them, maybe half of them or a quarter of them, as opposed to constantly with a turbine engine that we use right now, these like big turbine engines, you'd constantly be running that. You'd have to. The next step would be to have an actual like small plane. So they said basically this would be scalable. So they would start very small and then they would work their way up. So they would start with like small, single engine planes, and then they would sort of either fit them or build a plane that would be electric, like powered by these little electric motors. And then they would move up to a bigger plane. And then maybe someday, if the tech continues to be able to scale, they would be able to do it with like a commercial airliner.
That would be fantastic. And then they could put solar panels on top of it, and it gets closer to the sun.
Keep going, we just keep going.
I
If you're like,
I don't know.
just, you know what? You never know. You never know. That could be a thing. You never know.
Right on.
But I thought that was so cool, and everyone up at NASA always does like really amazing things. I always love these videos that they have. But that's what's going on up at up with Leap Tech.
Nice job. Very cool.
Good work, NASA. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Into It. Our user feedback with some great Photoshops that I saved for you because I wanted to make sure you saw them.
Okay, I love these.
And then, of course, we have our photographer of the day. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Welcome back to the show. I was just noticing that Khail had two different colored shoelaces. Like one's white and one's blue.
Blue ones.
Very serious.
This is our life.
This is what we do here. We are back, and it is Thursday, and I'm excited because I have something that you haven't seen yet, and you brought something I haven't seen yet. So it is time to talk to you guys about the things that we are super excited about. This is Into It. I'm not going to Kanye you. I'm going to let you finish.
You're going to let me finish? Okay. I really had something in my throat. So this last week, while I was gone, I wasn't just lying around in the street. I was actually in South by, lying around in the street.
Yeah, you weren't just in Austin laying in the street.
So I got a chance to check out some music. I got a chance to check out some tech, but I also got a chance to check out a movie. And so that is my Into It. This week, I want to talk about a movie that premiered there called Ex Machina.
I saw the trailer for this movie. Oh my God, you saw it?
Yes, I saw it.
No.
So Ex Machina was one of the big movies this year. And if you don't know it and you haven't seen the trailer, I recommend you go see the trailer.
I'm so excited.
It is about one man testing an AI to find out how efficient it is. And he's also down there testing it with the creator of it,
which is Oscar Isaac, who's going to be in the new Star Wars movie. Okay, continue.
So is this guy.
Oh, is he
They're
really?
both going to be in it.
Oh my God.
And during his interview, he kind of maybe accidentally let it slip that he may be holding a lightsaber. But anyway, so it's these two guys, and they kind of get to a point where nobody trusts anybody.
This looks like a thriller.
Yes, it's a thriller. He's testing the AI, and the AI confides in him and says, "Hey, don't trust the guy that made me." And then the guy that made him is like, "Don't trust the AI." And then he can't trust either. And then the AI can't trust him. And then it all becomes this
and you
giant.
just don't know who to trust.
You don't know if the AI is smarter than them or if it's this feeble little AI that's being taken advantage of because it's this beautiful robot, but also it's a beautiful robot, so maybe it's alluring
using
him.
Them, yeah.
But it's a crazy I recommended it to someone who I was like, "Do you like Black Mirror? You'll love this."
Oh my God.
But it's great. It has you guessing till I thought I had figured out where it was going, and then it went a different direction than I thought it was going to go, but it was great. Oh. Fantastic ending. Really great acting, and the effects are unbelievable. Like the effect of this woman
is so unreal.
Unreal, and
she's gorgeous.
They're like, "Oh, did you have to during somebody else's interview? They told me, oh, did you guys have to do a lot of crazy tricks?" He's like, "No, we just filmed it twice." And he was like, and then we fixed it in post. So it was like incredible. But anyway, really great movie. Probably one of the best ones that came out of South by that wasn't like a comedy. There was a lot of big comedies there, but this was great.
I was just telling producer Logan yesterday, I'm like, "Did you see this trailer for this movie called Ex Machina?" He's like, "No." And I was like, "You have to watch it," because this is a movie where I was like, Logan would love this.
It was written by the guy, it was directed and written by the guy that made Sunshine. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
28 Days Later.
Oh, that's I love that movie.
And I think Dread as well.
Oh.
So he's got a lot of sci-fi.
Street cred.
A lot of sci-fi street cred. Really great movie. Very small and isolated.
I like it. It feels very claustrophobic. I'm into it.
Yeah, you were already into it and you hadn't even seen it, and you're going to be into it when you see it. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what I am into this week is the weirdest thing I've ever seen on YouTube, and that's saying something, but in such a delightful way. It's this user called Miniature Space. And basically what this is it's a Japanese guy, of course it is,
all right,
with a miniature kitchen.
Okay.
And he makes food in the miniature kitchen with miniature tools. Okay, so here he is in his miniature kitchen making pancakes So you can see he's got all his pancakes that he's a butter, and he had maple syrup. Okay, so he brings in his little stove, and he lights a candle, and he puts it in there. Watch, look. So he lights a thing, and then he puts it inside this stove, and then he gets a little tiny pot, and he cooks up pancakes. Like, I'm not kidding. And the weird thing is there's no music. He's not talking. It's just silent. It's just the sounds of cooking, and it's oddly soothing. It's so strange. It's so weird, but he really cooks stuff in these little tiny pans.
He only makes pancakes? Or?
No, he makes everything. Does
he eat them afterwards, or?
I don't know. They don't show that part. You never see this guy's face.
What else does he make?
It's only mentioned. Okay, so producer Logan, we have another one too. It's fried. He makes fried chicken.
He makes fried. What? But chickens are normal size. How does he make
I
fried
know.
chicken?
He has like a little tiny cutting board where he like cuts up the little chickens and he rolls them in little tiny. Watch. Okay. Look, that is actual oil in there. That is frying this little tiny, like, what is it? A spring roll like paper.
Okay.
So he fries that thing. I love that. Like, there's a tiny coffee mug there
he's got a mug
absolutely
just in case.
no reason. For absolutely no reason. It's ridiculous. But he heats up oil in this little pot, and then he puts in these little tiny. He takes a normal sized piece of chicken, cuts up, and he has a tiny chef's knife. Is this the weirdest thing you've seen? It's so bizarre, and I love it so much. It's so weird.
This guy needs to work with the tiny hamster.
See, little tiny pieces of chicken inside flour.
Look at his little utensil.
He cooks with tiny
utensils. He has little tiny. Look, he's got a little shelf there.
He has everything. It's the best. Look at the background. Look at the background. There's like little pots back there inside a cabinet.
Let me ask you something. If you, and this could really go for anyone. If you were like on a date and the guy invited you over and he's like, I'm gonna make you. If he's like, I'm gonna make you dinner, and you come over and he makes you like a little tiny dinner, is that like cool or is that like
no?
Weird?
I would probably run for my life. Actually, that seems like a serial killer to me.
Like he's like hold on.
Let me make you a tiny dinner. But he also made a little tiny cake that was adorable. He made a little cake.
What is this?
This is the end of the fried chicken thing. He cuts up. Look at this little. He has a little chef's knife. This is so dumb, you guys. Like I know it's super dumb.
There's a whole channel of this.
A whole channel of this. Just all kinds of
with no music.
Miso soup. Right. Yeah, it's super soothing though. If you like just having background noises on, it's great. Like you just play it, and he said miso soup. He makes puddings. He makes katsu. He like everything. He makes little tiny sushi. Like the sushi one is unreal. Like they're little itty bitty on 1 grain of rice. He puts his sushi on.
No, he doesn't. Not on 1 grain of rice.
I'm not joking. It's real. But look, here's his fried chicken. He fried it up in that tiny little pot, and now he's serving it. I want to see him eat it.
This is why I love Intuit, because nowhere else would I find something like this, but from Ashley Esquela over here.
That's true.
Okay,
I'm cooking tiny stuff.
I'm sure you're gonna show me more afterwards.
I will.
So
I will.
I'll make sure to check those out.
All right, guys, let's talk about what you have to think about the show. It is time for user feedback. This is gonna be a long show today, but only because you haven't been here and we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, like a little food.
Okay, that's true. So yesterday we asked you guys to think up weird ways of signing in to your Windows machine because they introduced Microsoft Hello, which is a login for your face and all that stuff. So Rick wrote in and said, maybe Windows 10 can recognize my catchphrase, I am the vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman. And then he tries it in Kevin Conroy's voice. Joey wrote in and said, unlock with a secret dance.
Uh-oh.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like that he didn't share the secret dance.
No, don't ever share the secret dance. You don't give people your login information. So those were our 2 feedbacks that I saw that I really liked. Now we have to get
Secret dance and Batman, very similar.
Photoshops.
Okay. We have Photoshops.
Yes, of course. So remember last week we had the ski picture with all the snow.
Yeah.
So to have the ski-free monster in there. Well, we had 2 people do that, Jerome and Frank. So Jerome wrote in and said, couldn't help it, added 3 monsters, LOL. And I love that so much.
That's fantastic. He's going after that one guy that's down there on the snowboard. He's got 2 people. Yeah, and then he actually got one.
Okay, and then one who
Okay,
actually ate one.
cool.
And then Frank wrote in and said, only the Goldblum can save them from the beast.
Yes, he had a Jeff Goldblum.
So
See, sorry,
all
this
3
one's
of us snowboarding down a hill or skiing. There we are. You're snowboarding, I'm skiing.
Wow, I am good.
Yeah, I look like a really good skier. And then there's Goldblum, like,
Goldblum's having a blast. We look like we're not exactly enjoying it, but this is great. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, so they photoshopped those people into it?
Yeah,
the ones that
yeah. They photoshopped those 3
That is
people
a really fantastic Photoshop.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like, is this a real picture? It might be a real
I feel like
picture.
it's a real picture.
Okay, cool. All right.
And then Stefan wrote in about Gil's. Yesterday we had Gil, And we talked about it, one of the pictures, it was the South Carolina State House. And we said, what would make it better? And Gil said aliens. And I was like, yeah, I agree. That would make it so much better. So Stefan wrote in and sent us this and said, as you or Gil were talking about, aliens are now attacking the photographer's photo and taking away the statue above the stairs. So it's super good. I always love Stefan.
That's unbelievable.
Stefan and Jerome likes to send in Photoshops all the time, and we just love it that you guys do that. So, high fives, guys.
My God, Stefan.
You guys are all kind of the best.
Yeah.
If you guys want to send in Photoshops, if you want to send in, we have to do our photographer of the day, right? We do for today.
Well, yeah, I mean,
well,
yes.
Let's do that. There might be some good Photoshop magic in this too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Byung wrote into us.
Who?
Byung.
Okay.
Byung. And he said, I'm from Auckland, New Zealand, and in December last year, I went to the South Island for the first time. Here are the top, in my opinion, unedited photos I took using my Moto X 2014. Keep up the great work with the show. The first one on the left there is Queenstown, he said. That's Queenstown.
Oh, wow.
So unedited with a Moto X, which generally does not have the best camera ever, but in bright daylight, like, what a great picture.
Yeah.
Super good. And then we had, which I love this picture, is Mirror Lakes. And he says, the sign is vertically mirrored so you can see the actual words in the water. So you can see it says Mirror Lakes upside down.
That's cool.
So that when you look into the reflection of the water, it's actually spelled out for you, which is so fun.
Very clever, town.
So clever, Mirror Lakes. But yeah, so really cool pictures. And taking the Moto X, I think that's very impressive. Very impressive indeed. So Byung, thank you. We appreciate your pictures.
It's a good one.
Should we ask for a Photoshop of that one, or we just let it lie for the weekend?
I think Byung's nailed it on that one.
Kind of crushed it. Yeah, kind of crushed it.
Good job, Byung.
If you guys want to send in wacky Photoshops, if you want to send in your photography, you can do that. You can email us anything else, story ideas, tips, tricks, recipes, old family recipes. I'll take it. Tomorrow at cnet.com. Tiny recipes for tiny food. And your thoughts on the Tiny Food Man on YouTube. You can email us tomorrow at cnet.com. If you absolutely hate email, which some people do, you can find us on social media all over the place. Snapchat, Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're Tomorrow Daily on all those, and Tomorrow Daily TV over on Google+.
And if you're watching on YouTube, it's good to see you again. But don't forget to leave a comment, give it a like, favorite, subscribe, all the things that everyone tells you to do. Just do them. And then also, if you're listening on the iTunes podcast, don't forget to rate and review and subscribe and like and favorite and all the things that I told the people on YouTube to do. So, and also don't forget to follow us on our own personal Twitters. Mine is Khail Anonymous.
And I'm Ashley Esqueva.
Okay.
And that's it for the show today. Again, Khail will not be here Monday, but that's okay. We'll all have to live with it. But he'll be back for the rest of the week next week.
Absolutely. Forever and ever and ever.
Forever and ever and ever and ever. And we'll be back. I'll be back on Monday with a brand new docket of weird tech, science, robots, science fact, science fiction, all whatever in between, smash it all together. It's gonna be the best. But until then, be good humans. We'll see you next time. Bye.